Hi. Today I am revealing your roommate secrets. Before we begin, I just have to disclaim that I am in no position to judge, which is what I'll be doing, because I was a terrible roommate. I no longer live with anyone because I don't want to, and for good reason. I don't think anyone would want to live with me. I actually wanted to talk to my old roommate on the phone so she could attest to how bad of a roommate I was, but we don't talk anymore. Because I don't think she would want to. But I did have suite mates that I am still friends with, and I asked one of them to voice memo me answering 3 questions, and I haven't listened yet. We're gonna listen together about how I was as a roommate. The first question was, rate me from 1 to 10 as a roommate. The second question was, what are 3 words you would use to describe me as a roommate? And the final question, would you ever live with me again? Let's find out. And by the way, I don't really know the purpose of this. I don't really know. I just felt like I needed to come clean before we get dirty.
I think you're like a 5.5, maybe. You were good at being available for things and setting boundaries of when you'd want to see people or not, which I think is good for a roommate. Like if you're filming or if you're studying, you're very adamant about us not bothering you. You're very messy, and it was good you had your own room, because I don't know how any of us would have dealt living in the same bedroom as you. Specifically bad roommate things, like your messiness or smelliness didn't spread throughout the dorm. I don't remember you cleaning the bathroom, which was the only shared space between the 5 of us. You're messy, available, and trustworthy as a roommate. I didn't ever have to worry about your messiness spreading or like you taking something from someone. If anything, you were really open about sharing all of your things, which is good. I would not live with you again unless we had 2 of everything, like different kitchens, different bathrooms, different bedrooms. We could maybe share a living room, but you're too messy. Sorry.
Okay, that was better than I expected. I'm way cleaner now, Julia. And if you asked my roommate who I lived with my freshman year, she would say you couldn't trust me because I would always steal her food. So this was actually a very good review. Like, I'm glowing. And I'm a little embarrassed that she said I was smelly. I have stomach issues. Okay, great. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about your roommate experiences. Some guy is gonna pay me to kick his balls. Ball busting is a real fetish, but also I'm a little worried he's trying to sell me into sex trafficking. But it's okay, I'll have my roommate and friends right across the street and they'll be on the lookout for any suspicious activity leaving/not leaving his apartment. Easy way to make $100. And legal, because we're not gonna have sex, so woo! Where can I sign up? I got a Tinder after me and my boyfriend broke up to get a confidence boost. I wasn't planning on messaging anyone, let alone meeting up with them, but I ended up matching with a football player at my college. We texted after a few hours, literally only texted him because he was a football player, but it was fine, I guess. But out of nowhere, he was like, "You got a computer?" And I said, "Yeah." So he invited me over to do homework. I get there, I'm sitting there awkwardly for like 2 hours while he's using my computer to do his homework. Weird. Yes. And when he was done, we ended up making out, but then he started to make out with my ear, like sticking his tongue in my ear, and I was not down with that. So I had my roommate call me and pretend she was drunk and locked out so I could leave. On the way out, I tried to open the front door and I fully broke the door frame off the wall. That's what he gets for sticking his tongue down your ear. And there was an eviction notice on the door. Now every time I go to log into my email, his pops up as a reminder of my first and only Tinder hookup. And this is why we don't use Tinder. We use Hinge, we use Bumble. I feel like Tinder has made its way out of, and maybe I'm not on the apps anymore because I'm in like a really healthy, happy relationship. So maybe I'm wrong, but I just feel like Tinder is where, let's go to other ones that seem less sketchy now. I don't know. Here's another thing that this secret makes me think about is, why do we have to make our roommate call us to come up with an excuse to leave? Why is it so hard to just tell people, you are making me uncomfortable, I don't like this scenario, I'm heading out? buddy. I'm the same way, or at least I used to be, where like I was always tiptoeing around people. I don't know if it's like a fear of aggression from men and not wanting to like have conflict or feeling the need to be polite. Either way, I don't like it. I mean, I'm glad we have resources and your roommate came through for you, but let's all move towards honestly telling people that they're fucking weird and making us uncomfortable. Like, that guy deserves to know. You can't invite people over, use their computer, and stick your tongue down their ears. You know, like, he should know. You agree? They agreed. I'm a freshman at college, and one night I woke up to my roommate, flicking the bean. And I don't necessarily do that, so I started crying in the bathroom. When I confronted her about it, she said that she thought I was cool with it, and she's done it tons of times. Fast forward a week, she moved to a single to do it in a place she wouldn't be judged for it. I feel like you're both right. Like, sure, you are fine and right to be uncomfortable, but also she is fine and right to flick the bean in her room. You know, so I'm glad you guys separated. Sounds like it wasn't a huge conflict. What do you guys think? Do you think you shouldn't masturbate with someone right next to you? I mean, you live together. At some point, you're gonna need to let it out. That was not a confession. It was not. I have an irrational fear of spoons. I don't even know why. I just want to run every time I see them, and don't get me started on touching them. I live at uni now, and how am I meant to explain that to my roommates? Yeah, that's a tough one. Also, how do you eat soup? How do you eat cereal? How do you play the spoon game? Have you guys ever played the spoon game? It's like you have to walk around with the spoon, and if you catch someone not carrying their spoon, you tag them and then they're out. How do you play the spoon game? That game that everyone inevitably has to play at some point in their life. Do you stir your coffee with a knife? Like, what? I have so many questions. I used my old roommate's dildo a year or so ago. Don't worry, I used a condom. That literally doesn't do anything for me. I'm sure if your roommate found out, she also would not care that you used a condom. I mean, okay, yeah, it makes it like 0.6% better, if that. I don't know why, but I think it was a power move. Okay, that makes sense. She was always a bitch to me, so now that she moved out, I get a weird sense of satisfaction knowing that she has no idea where it's been. For some reason, your explanation actually makes it totally fine for me now. If you were just like desperate to get off and then you used her dildo, kind of gross. But you had intention, you know, you had a vision, and I respect that. Good work. I hate my college roommate, so I signed up for Pornhub with her email and also posted a horny people group on Whisper and put her number on it and had as many people as I could send dick pics to her. That's pretty fucked up. You're like asking her to be sexually harassed. I don't like that. I fantasized about slowly peeling off her skin. Oh, didn't think it could get worse, and then it did. While she's alive, it just keeps getting better worse. But since I can't do that, I did the other stuff instead. Can't you just submit for a new roommate? Or like tell her how you feel, try to work through your problems, you know? What the fuck? My apartment walls are really thin and my vibrator is loud, so I play your videos in the background so my roommate can't hear the vibrator. Okay, well, you're welcome. I'd like to hear thank you for your service. Put some respect on my name. I like how it's my videos because it's like some of my revealing your secrets are pretty frisky. Like you could keep masturbating with it in the background, but it's also like not too bad where someone could hear it and they wouldn't be like, oh, what's going on in there? You know, it's like a good in between. Why am I giving you guys ideas? Never mind. My first year of college, I lived with a really gross roommate. We're talking leaving trash everywhere, tons of dirty laundry, and just being downright gross in general. She literally smelled like death sometimes, I swear. At one point, I thought she had potentially given me some kind of worms because I had read something online about them being easily picked up by people who didn't live cleanly or wash their hands often after coming in contact with the eggs or something. I know that sounds insane, but I have so much anxiety about worst possible scenarios happening to me, so this is a normal thought for me. So I convinced myself I had pinworms and made my mom buy special drugs to get rid of them, just to have the doctor tell me later that I totally never had them. LMAO. But really, my roommate was disgusting. I hope whoever lives with her now is okay. I wonder if my roommate freshman year is the one who submitted this. Just kidding, I wasn't that smelly. You know who's smellier than me? is my current roommate. You're very stinky sometimes. You are super stinky. Do you know that? Do you have anything to say? How do you like living with me? Tell them. Interesting. Hi, Alyx. Hi. I've been watching this series for a while, and here's mine. So I was a trainee in Korea, training in an entertainment company so that I can debut in a group. My company is pretty well known and have had some popular K-pop groups. Being a trainee is pretty tough, and we have lots of rules like no dating, no smoking or alcohol, etc. They are also really strict about weight. So I was put on a diet so I can lose weight. I was 120 pounds and 5'5". After losing weight, I was like 90 pounds. That's so fucked. During that time, I was so depressed because I was constantly trying to improve my dancing skills and also lose weight. The manager would weigh us every Wednesday, and if we gained more weight, we would get punished. They would also fat shame and stuff. I was so sick of life because all I was eating is apples, chicken, and salads and very little portions. But one day I was practice dance at the company at like 11 p.m. No other trainees was there besides me, and I passed due to hunger, and this guy helped me. He was an idol in a group. Anyways, we talked and he ordered fried chicken and pizza out of guilt. He asked for my info and we started to chat. Time passes and we low-key started dating, I guess. So one day we were making out at the company and his manager caught us, and I was so afraid that I might get kicked out because I broke the rules, but the manager didn't snitch. He just scolded me about it and told me not to be near him at the company. I was low-key pissed that I was the only one getting yelled at, but not him. Anyway, this sounds like a very toxic environment. Anyways, a couple weeks later, I found out that he was actually doing the same thing with another trainee. My roommate, to be exact. This sounds like a television show, and I would so watch. I would sign up for a whole new streaming platform just to watch this show. But I don't blame her because she didn't know me and him was a thing. So I broke things off with him. He got mad and denied cheating on me and snitched to the company about me breaking the rules, and he said that I was hitting on him and harassing him. Like, dude, fuck you. What the fuck? I tried to explain myself, but they still sided with him and I got kicked out. Now I'm back home and attending university. So yeah, him and his group is still active, and y'all will probably never find out who he is because I don't want to get sued by the company for revealing private info, but their group's official Instagram has over 1 million followers, and that's the only clue I'm giving. I know a lot of you guys are about to be like, she didn't really give very much information though. Like, I don't really think we can figure it out. Even though I want to know. You want to know? I do too. But I don't know if we're ever gonna know. Also, it sounds like maybe it was the best thing for you to not be there. Like, the universe aligned a destiny for you that is perhaps a lot healthier, less toxic, and detrimental to your mental health. Although it's really fucked up how that all played out. And what the fuck? That sounds crazy. Again, is there a reality show about this process? Because I'd like to watch it. Reality, scripted, whatever. I want to watch. Very cool, but like not cool at all, you know? I had a creepy 26-year-old meathead roommate. Only talked about how he worked out and only thought about women. Not just any women though, 19-year-olds, and only 19-year-olds. He said he liked them younger, and I about threw up. If that's not enough to make you dislike this guy, he would invite girls over to make out on his bed, which was next to where I did homework. There were several times I woke up at 4, 5, maybe even 6 a.m. to odd slurping noises. Kissing or fucking, I really didn't want to know. Would sometimes randomly take off his shirt, go into the bathroom and flex for 5 to 10 minutes and come out and ask if he looked yoked, which in fact, I could care less. Found copious amounts of hair in the shower and even clogged a few times because he would brag about shaving everything. To women on top of all that, shot up roids with a needle in our apartment. Saying I hated this man would be an understatement. Rot in hell. Oh my god, that sounds like a nightmare. Why 19-year-olds? You know? Like, if you like them young, why wouldn't you choose the youngest you can go legally? 18, you know? I just want to know why 19. Why is that the Goldilocks number for him? Can you ask and get back to me? I'm curious. I was looking for a new roommate and put up some ads for my apartment. The day a possible roommate came in was my fucking high school English teacher. I low-key had a crush on her and let her move in because why not? Yeah. We've had sex multiple times. times, but for some reason it feels wrong because she was your teacher when you were a child, probably. I'm already in college and she's not even working at my high school, so should I feel bad? If it makes it better, she's really hot. Honestly, this is like a lifelong fantasy of mine, so keep it up. Just go and go and go because you deserve it and because I want it. No, I don't want it, but it is hot and I'm like into it. You don't have to be into it too. You know, if you feel uncomfortable, don't keep doing it. But like, also, what a fantasy. Are you kidding me? So, my roommate and I shared a 2-bedroom apartment in New York City and didn't have any issues. She was clean and overall kept to herself, which I liked especially since we weren't that close despite living with each other. Months go by and she starts not coming home for like 2 to 3 days, and because we just talked here and there, I didn't want to ask her about it and pester her because it felt awkward. This was also my first time moving away and having a roommate, so I was dumb. Anyways, this kept happening for weeks and I was getting annoyed because she would be gone for longer periods of time that meant I had to clean up after her or else the apartment would be messy, of course. So she comes home one night and I finally asked her where she was and she just told me not to worry and that she can go wherever she wants whenever, and kind of blew up in my face about it. I never saw her get angry like that before, so I just went to my room. The next few days she was gone again and I was pissed that she so easily left me alone in the apartment without any context on where she was going. Being single in New York City at night by yourself isn't safe for anyone too, so I was worried. Here's where it gets weird. I decided to go into her room and clean up, and something was really stinking up her room. I checked and in her dresser was a dead cat. Like, how the fuck do you get a whole ass cat in there? So I was freaking out and texted her, "Get home right now. I don't care where you are. This is urgent." So she shows up and I tell her about the cat and she explained that basically she was leaving for days to go to this group where they sacrificed animals in order to earn money. This is some Squid Game shit. Really fucked up stuff. That's true. And that the cat who had been following her every night and the one she killed was going to be sacrificed. I was so scared that I left the apartment and moved out. I was young and didn't think to call the police or something and just try every day to forget about it. Lesson learned. Get to know your roommates before you sign on an apartment together. Love your bits. What the fuck? What the fuck? It's so weird. I don't understand the correlation between killing animals and earning money, except for maybe some sick fuck in charge who has a lot of money and wants to see creatures die at the hands of others. My brain is just like, I'm trying to. System error. I gotta reboot. Let me just press the restart button. I still feel like shit. During my junior year's history class, I would hear about how a group of football players would make homophobic comments about me being bisexual and it just being an excuse to not say I was gay. A few years later, when attending community college, I attended a Halloween party that my roommate invited me to and didn't know who would be there. When I showed up, one of the football players from high school was there and came up to me and asked me, I already know where this is going, we all do, if we would do oral sex to each other in the restroom. I ended up accepting because he was hot, to be honest. Moral of the story, most homophobic men are the ones hiding in the closet. And a one, it's been a minute. A 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're homophobic, you're probably gay. You say that it's disgusting, but really you just want some pussy or some butt play. If you're homophobic, you're probably just gay. Yeah! I made a pact that I would take this secret to my grave, but I guess I'm breaking that pact right now. So, my freshman year of college, I was assigned to be roommates with this really weird girl, and when I say weird, I mean like eating raw meat that she had stored away for months at a time weird. Anyways, one night after coming back to the dorm after a party, I had realized that I had lost my phone, so I asked my roommate if I could borrow hers to use Track My iPhone app, and all was fine and dandy until a text message popped up on her phone from her dad that read, "Your brother and I cannot wait until you come home next weekend. We've been missing that sweet kitty cat." To say the least, I was mortified. She quickly grabbed her phone and tried to explain things, but it only made things worse as she confessed that her and her family have sexual relations with each other. I'm talking her mom, her dad, her brother, the whole shebang. The whole shebang. But she does bang her family. And even offered to bring me in on the action. As if that would make it better. It's like, I know this is really weird, but you can get in if that... Long story short, I moved into my then boyfriend's apartment for the rest of the semester and never spoke to that weird bitch again. This is like too good to be real. Like, I kinda don't believe it. But then again, maybe I just don't want to believe it because it's fucking disgusting. Leave a comment down below. Do you believe this secret or no? Yay or nay? Incest or no incest? I don't want your opinion on it. I want you to tell me if you think this incest story is real. I can guess most of our opinions are the same. Or maybe not, because... So, me and my best friend were roommates at uni, and I had a boyfriend at the time. And we were all friends, and I had told my friend that my boyfriend was curious about butt stuff. So one day we were all hanging out and we started teasing him about it, and one thing led to another, and we ended up bribing him to let us F him in the butt with an electric toothbrush. Not the bristles, by making out. Yeah, that really happened. Hashtag all taking it to the grave, except for you. You took it to this YouTube channel. And I'm so glad you did. What a fun story. Yay, bonding. I'm sure he enjoyed himself. An orgy and butt stuff? Fucking win. Yeah, so I fucked up. Me too. Constantly. Okay, so basically it was like 4 in the morning and I decided to stick a carrot up my you-know-what. Your nose? Your ear? In your mouth? So anyways, I was so fucking tired and I wasn't thinking, so I put the carrot back in the fridge. I wake up at like 6 p.m. Yes, I'm a nocturnal hoe. And I find my roommate making some carrot stew. Well, fuck. I tried to get the carrot back, but I couldn't because she already put it in the stew. Turns out, and was making the stew for her sick grandma who she was visiting. Well, let me tell you, she said the stew was bomb. Like, she said it was better than usual. And guess what? Regina is thriving. So let me tell you, I'm a fucking genius. So I guess I didn't fuck up. Part of me doesn't believe this story, but if it is real, I don't know if you're a genius so much as just like you have magic pussy. Either way, congratulations. That's awesome. I have a college roommate and whenever she's not home, I secretly sniff her underwear. Sometimes I even lick the dirty ones. All right, I'm done. Thanks for nothing.